everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is, wherever it is that you are. Welcome once more to another video podcast of Political News Time, brought to you by yours truly, Alex Mayers of the PNTLIVE network. And remember, if you want to check out archives of this podcast or any of the other podcasts that I like to put together, you can always visit pntlive.net or politicalnewstime.com, or you could follow me on Twitter at AlexMayersLive. And of course, you can check out the upcoming website, even though I haven't even really done much with it, at least not that's online. The upcoming website, irlnewstime.com. That's going to be an exciting project. If you're not familiar with IRL, make sure that you look at my most recent video podcast so that you can become familiar with the just so cute cast of characters. I really like them. Even if some of them make me upset sometimes, I still like them.
This way, your job's a joke, you broke, your love life's the away. It's like you're always stuck in second gear. When it hasn't been your day, week, your month, or even your year. But I'll be there for you. Every star's I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you.
But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into what I want to jump into tonight, because tonight I'm going to discuss a really interesting revelation that was brought to my attention by an IRL fan who I want to give a shout out to. Hello, Karma is Real. She pointed me towards some online video today that I'm going to share the audio of with you on here, and then when I edit this podcast, I'll put in the actual clips so you can see for yourself why, at least in my opinion, I'm sure many of your opinions as well, Skimask Andy, the popular YouTube streamer, should not likely be in jail due to the allegations of his ex. Yeah, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. But just very quickly, I want to go over a few tweets by our president, Donald Trump, in regards to Nanci Pelosi. And what he tweeted, I feel, is beyond a shadow of a doubt warranted. You know, it's interesting because since I've spoken about this Hairgate situation revolving around Nanci Pelosi to a few people who I know who are Democrats, they're trying to defend her. It's interesting. In my opinion, she embodies quite a bit of narcissism. But anyway, here is what Trump tweeted yesterday. Crazy Nanci Pelosi said she was set up by the beauty parlor owner when she improperly had the salon opened and didn't wear a mask. Does anyone want a Speaker of the House who can be so easily set up? I don't. But it is interesting that she would deflect taking responsibility for her own actions upon the establishment that, for the most part, is closed anyway, and other establishments like it are closed due to her actions. Yeah. All right. So then Trump tweets, Nancy Pelosi says she got set up by a beauty parlor owner. Maybe the beauty parlor owner should be running the House of Representatives instead of crazy Nancy. And honestly, I don't think Trump is too far off when it comes to what he said. But here's what I thought was interesting about all of this. During a press conference today, the press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany, in the background, she had the video footage of Pelosi on loop on a screen, just playing over and over and over while she's going over the details about the situation.
Today, I can announce we have found Nancy Pelosi. As you can see, we found Nancy Pelosi going into her hair salon. We will be playing the video on loop for all of you to see during the duration of this introduction. Nancy Pelosi was not in the halls of Congress when I asked where she was. She was not working in good faith to make a deal for the American people. Nope, Nancy Pelosi was found in San Francisco at a hair salon where she was indoors, even though salons in California are not only open for outdoor service. Apparently, the rules do not apply to Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
What's interesting to me about this Pelosi situation is that it's a theme that's becoming more and more prevalent in our society. And that's the theme of the narcissist being exposed. That's actually what I'm about to get into when it comes to the IRL news that I want to cover today, revolving around Skimask Andy. His ex embodies some narcissistic and sociopathic tendencies. And it's possible that due to some of those tendencies being exposed and some of her lies being exposed as of recent, she's felt the need to backpedal.
I think like the whole like woman beater term is excessive.
You're dealing with a different version of Rich here, because when you
Like-
are an alcoholic, you're an alcoholic.
Like I said the whole time, like it wasn't like I had broken bones, it wasn't like I had a black eye or a crushed rib.
Social development is
Like
arrested.
whatever
He's not functioning
physical altercation should never happen.
of social emotional
But-
maturity, because
Yeah.
development was arrested at a much earlier age.
I think like the term woman
This is the
beater
brain of
and
a
like
normal person.
felony
The
strangulation,
areas here you see are
like,
electrical activity of a normal person.
I think
Like
it's
looking at the
excessive.
freeway in rush hour. Lots going on. Zzz, zzz,
like the
zzz.
cops are just like freaking me out and they're like, oh, your neck is red, your eyes are red, is your voice always as raspy? Like, oh, you have epilepsy, like you could have brain damage. Like, even thinking about like those statements like get my fucking heart beating again.
In so many to the cerebral cortex, and this is where they start having problems with thinking.
Justifying the rage of David. No, I mean you can't justify someone's reactions, but I can like I don't like the term woman beater, and I've said multiple times like that's excessive. It wasn't like Rihanna, fucking Chris Brown, like broken bones and shit.
So you're not just talking about somebody who's getting drunk and partying. It's attacking.
I mean, it was never like a strangle. It was never choking or things like that. It was just like a wrestle. And while we were wrestling, it just happened with my arms. Like, and the police were like, well, you had pressure put on your throat. You could go through and get like damage to your vocal cords, damage to your neck. Oh, your neck looks red. Like your voice sounds raspy. Your eyes are red. Your capillaries look busted. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like when I'm already had a crazy traumatic shit, when you already had like an argument, when you already had like shit go fully left and you just want somebody gone and not to break your shit. And I already have epilepsy and they're just like, you could have brain damage. Did you see stars? Did you see birdies? Did you see a Looney Tune? Oh, you saw a Looney Tune. You gotta do the like the way that shit happened, said I was having difficulty breathing because he was on top of me. Like going through, and then like I just live by myself, I'm crying, and they're like, your eyes are red. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, did I get my shit busted? I got arthritis, I got epilepsy, I have all these health problems to worry about. So when somebody brings up my health shit, that like trumps logic. That's just like, well, you got the epilepsy. Boom, trumps everything. So it's just like a shitty situation, and again reminds me how nothing ever becomes better from the police being involved. And no, it's like everyone involved's faults. Like everyone has to accept their own responsibility and accountability.